Alien 8 UK.
Welcome back. You found it again. The UFO Files. Broadcasting round the clock on Alien 8 UK. Red-eye listeners, insomniacs, sky watchers, van drivers on the long haul. You're tuned to the only station that stares back at the dark with you. 24 hours, we circle the same old questions. Lights over the north, shadows over the south. Phone lines open, headphones on, blinds half drawn. I got case notes spread like takeaway menus. Highlighters bleeding through until sunrise. Coordinates scribbled on coffee stained napkins from a truck stop somewhere near the east coast. We don't do jump scares here, we do the long stare out the window at 3:33 a.m. when the estate's asleep and the sky feels too crowded. You call him with that voice, half whisper, half there. First time chatter, long time watcher, and the hairs rise on every neck in frequency range. Maybe it's satellites, maybe it's stories we tell, so we're not alone in these flickering terraces and rented rooms. Either way, keep your dial right here. This is the UFO Files. Alien 8 UK. All night, every night. Welcome back.
Signal acquisition initiated. Cross-referencing anomaly archives. Pattern recognition complete. Aether 8 online. Proceed.
Hello. Welcome to the UFO Files with myself, no co-host, and the wonderful Alex Lovelock. So, welcome, Alex. Thank you for coming on at short notice.
That's all right. No,
appreciate it.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's been too long. I keep all last week. I kept meaning to send you a message, and then something happened, and it just kept
Story
going
of
on.
my life, mate. Story of my life.
It's like I kept getting it up ready, then my phone would go off, and it's and then it was one of them weeks. I'm hoping this week's going to be a lot easier.
You know, I do my Sunday. I thought today was Wednesday. I went over and saw something. It's Monday a day.
Yeah.
It's gone. It goes so quick.
You've lost half a week before it's already started.
So, anyway, it's good to. Thanks for inviting me.
No, thank you for coming on, as always. Like I said, it's been too long, and we're going to talk about Rendlesham and a few other bits and pieces. We was supposed to be having Steve Mera, but Alex sold him last week, and he's not let him out of his shed yet. So, no, Steve apologised; he couldn't make it. He had something that he needed to sort out. So Steve's going to be back next Monday instead. So he's not letting us down. He's just got other things that he needs to prioritise at the moment. So it's all good.
Good guy. He's a good bloke.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting what you were saying before we went on air then about what Steve, you think it was Steve that said it to you about
Well,
the abduction side to...
there's a lot. Well, as you know, I spent a lot of time working as a medium.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore. And how can I put it? I seem to upset people when I say this. I didn't do any of this preparation. I didn't do any woo-woo stuff, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered with all that. So to just go on and off we go. I either saw the person, whoever, or heard them. Well, I've been asking someone else about this. Whoever it is talks to me, it's the same voice. So when I was in Rendlesham, back in October, the voice said, "We don't want you down here on your own for a while." The same voice. I don't see who it is. And then I was talking to Steve, interviewed Steve, and he said, I'm sure it was Steve, you may not be abducted physically, but maybe you're abducted, your mind's abducted.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit too
See,
much
that'd
for
make
me,
a lot of
to
sense.
be honest. And that's what I was wondering, to see, I get these voices, warnings, or whatever. It's the same voice.
Yeah. It's like they could be tapping in, that consciousness is tapping into your consciousness. And that's why you get these messages or the voices, like you said. So it sounds stupid, but it's like when you say you remember a conversation, you remember a conversation that me and you had, would you then, when you were playing it back in your mind, would you play my voice back in my voice, or would it be like just a generic voice?
No, I'd just be just you, and I'd know you were.
Yeah, so you'd know.
See what I mean? I'd know it was you.
Yeah.
But it made me think this, because I've had things happen over the years.
Yeah.
And I think you might be right. Maybe that's what it is. They abduct your mind, maybe. I don't know what they want mine. There's nothing in it. But
I might be trying to put stuff in there, helping you out.
It's I can't explain. Without seeing people, they'd probably look and think, he's a bit weird. He's a bit weird, that bloke. So I don't really like saying too much about it. But it works the same as when I was working as a medium on platform or on the stage, or whatever you want to call it. And I find it really, it's not a bad voice. When that UFO came and bought us at Bentwaters in 2017, three of us, same voice. He said to me, "What you say and what you think is correct." What? It's gone.
Yeah.
And since that night, 2017, it's gone very quiet in Rendlesham, as you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know we've had stuff happen when we've gone there and we've seen stuff and we've got photographs and we've both experienced the same stuff. And even when there's been other people with us, but like the first time we met, it was just me and you. And we were walking around and we had all sorts going on. But it's like, can you differentiate between what thought is your own and what thought is coming from elsewhere? What thought's being projected? Because thinking about it, I don't think I could.
Well, I don't know. I mean, my thoughts, I can't. I've seen some of the guys in here. They've got answers. I don't have any answers.
Yeah.
All I know is that it kind of works the same as it did when I was working with the spirit people.
Yeah.
But I don't claim to know anything about the alien world or whatever. It's been happening to me since I was God knows how old. But
yeah,
I couldn't talk about it like a lot of people do because I don't know. I just know what happens to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what other people do, but I'm sure it's the same. All I say is the same voice. So whether it be the spirit people or the ETs, same voice.
Yeah.
And somebody did explain it and said it's so. I suppose so. You recognise that voice. Sounds a bit mad, but that's what happens.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm Because when I get like the thoughts, like if I see something and what's going through my mind, it's the same as you. It's like you get the thought, you don't hear it. It's like it's in your mind. It's your mind's eye, your mind's ear, and it's the same, exactly the same as any of what I believe are my own thoughts. And when you play conversation back in your head, things like that, it's the same. You can't even call it a sound because it's not loud. It's not outside. It's inside. So whatever that thought is, whether it's a sound or a vision or whatever, it's the same every time.
I mean, as you know, my first time down Rendlesham, I met Derek, who's not with us now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A few other people. And we're on track 12. So always on track 12. Same voice said to me, would you please leave the ancients and aliens alone? I was like, I've never been here before. And that's how it's carried on since, what, 2012.
Yeah.
There's a fly around here. Maybe I should go and see a doctor. But whatever it is, no. But I say I can't explain what it is. I don't know. Or maybe I'm not meant to know.
Well, the thing is, it's like, we'll go back to when we first met up. Was it 3 years ago or thereabouts?
4 years ago, yeah.
And we met up at Eastgate Car Park, and you was telling me about what different sides and what's where and all that. And then we went on the trail and we're walking down to the UFO model. And then it's all different things that was going on, from literally stepping in there to getting back out the other end. It was constant. And the first bit, and I was talking about this the other day because this still messes with my head. So we're going down the trail and then we turn off. And you've got the grass bit that connects to then the next path. Yeah. And that's what I'd say about 100 yards long. And the floor was crawling with grasshoppers and crickets. And remember all them butterflies? Because when we was in the car park and that woman come over talking to us, she was saying about the butterfly trail and then these butterflies. And then we got on that bit and it's like there was like a shield round them. There's butterflies, dragonflies, grasshoppers and crickets.
That's right.
And we're just in this compact area. We weren't a little bit either side, but not the floor were crawling.
And I've never found the butterfly trail.
No?
I've never found it, no. So I don't know where she came from. I don't know where she went. But another Rendlesham mystery. And
part of the missing 411, I think. You never know.
It's like a woman who was gliding along the top trails. I said before we came on. I mean,
yeah,
I got to the, she couldn't have got that far. It's either jumping over the farmer's fence, but I can't see that, or running straight on to. But she was nowhere. It's a weird place.
Yeah, but it's like them photographs, because I've spoke about it quite a lot now when Rendlesham's brought up. Them photos that you took that you couldn't see at the time. There's one of what we call the sea camel. Well, I nicknamed it the sea camel. That big mound of whatever it was, and that was at the end of the trail where we'd seen all these insects and butterflies.
That's right.
And then the monks that were like in that circle in the trees. Then there was that white, like goblin astronaut type thing on the other side of the fence. Was that at the runway part, wasn't it?
That's the runway.
That was at the bottom end of the runway.
Yeah, I've still got those photographs. I mean, the monks I've never seen since. That hairy thing that was laying across the road, the track.
That was massive, though. That was about at least 2 foot high and about 8 foot long, at least.
Someone said, "Oh, it's this and that." I said, "Listen, if I'd seen that on my own, I'd have run, not taken photographs of it." And as for that Mr. Blobby thing that was coming across the runway, what on earth was that? But
no,
you don't. I think I actually saw that in my eyes, but I didn't see the monks. The camera picked up, and the hairy thing. I didn't
But
see
then
it.
look at what we got when we went, and then the second time we met up with Mike and Barney.
That's right.
Barney's dog, and then Mike was there to witness it as well. So when we was walking down, and the second time when Mike was there, we was looking at that the tunnel that goes into the ground. It was
Right.
it was a to do with, apparently that's to do with the defogging for the runway.
Is it? I thought it was
Yeah.
more like getting people in
Well-
into Pentwaters.
Probably a bit of everything. But apparently it's to do with the defogging on the runway for planes taking off and landing. But I thought underneath that was the underground rail track where they was moving the nuclear warheads. But I don't know. It's
A few years ago, people did get down there, but then they put these concrete slabs over them.
and then
Yeah.
they put the big iron
Then
straps
the
across them
iron
as
bar.
well, aren't they?
Because
when
I'm
we-
not
Oh, sorry,
I'm
go on.
I'm not sure, but I think when John Burroughs and Larry found sort of UFO,
Yeah.
I think they took one of them underground at Bentwaters. I can't swear to it. It's all hearsay,
Yeah.
isn't it? Really. So they must get under there somewhere. Sort of secret passages, if you like.
Yeah, but it's like, because we were stood there and we was discussing it, and I said, because you started laughing, because I said, we heard that on the gravel, and I turned around and said, "Was Alex? Were you shuffling?"
Yeah.
Why would I be shuffling? And Mike had gone walking up into the woods with the dog, and even he heard it, and he was about 15, 20 foot away.
Well, Mike, he left us for a minute, and he went on the other side. Did he say he saw some images or shadows?
Yeah, because
And we
that's
heard
what
the
he'd gone.
Yeah.
Probably because whatever it was, we were stood right next to each other. It was stood right in between us,
Right.
and the gap between us must have been no more than 2 foot. We was literally stood shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And we didn't see anything, didn't feel anything.
I was down there with Elaine and Simon, her husband, last year. I think maybe the year before. You're looking well, Alex. Oh, thank you. Who's that? Baby with a laser.
Darren.
Who is it?
He's called Darren. He's a fellow Manc.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh well.
One of
Whatever.
the moderators.
But where you come up, where I saw those two Germans,
Yeah.
who in that big dip, well, up the top of that used to be a table, which called Derek's table, and that goes into track 7. We was walking towards that down track 7, and Elaine vanished.
Yes.
And Simon, and I'm telling you, I've known Simon a long time, and you can see by his face, he's scared. Where's she gone? Where's she gone? So I don't know, and I'm now getting worried.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, next thing you know, she's walking with us again, and she reckons to this day that she didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, she's told this story. When we all met up that time, she was saying, she pointed out where it was, what happened.
Yeah. But she maintains that she was with us, or she wasn't. She's playing games and trying to frighten us or something. I don't know. But
I doubt. No, I don't.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
But like you said, sorry, I was just going to say, like when you said you seen the two German airmen.
The two German airmen,
Yeah, the first time that we went, which is not that, probably about 30 yards away from where we had the shuffling, but further down the track. We was walking down, and it's before you'd even mentioned, before we got to the crate of it, and I said I'd just seen someone about 4 trees deep walking that way, and I said they had a great grey uniform on, and as soon as I turned, they was not there, and then I couldn't get them back in my peripheral. But I remembered what they was wearing, and I come back home, I messaged you straight away. I got here, sat here, got on the computer, and I just put in SS World War II uniform, and it came up, and that was exactly the same as what it was. The grey fleece, the design, the colour, just everything, the fabric, the lot was exactly the same as what I'd seen.
That was the same as I saw. I mean, I just walking down past the dip, just taking, camera shots, and they appeared, and they said, in full German uniform, "We're sorry for what we did and what we were about to do," and they told them the plane, again, since that COVID, my memory's crap. Give them the name of the plane. Anyway, I found out later that a plane not far from there had crashed. So from some local, I say that it's like the spirit people. Like Saturday night, I was talking to a neighbour. I don't really know her that well.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I said to her, and I don't do this anymore. You lost a baby. I said, yeah, and the baby was dumped in like cloth.
Yeah.
And then I told her mum's name, and her mum, I've got these terrible pains in my stomach, and her mum died, passed with some stomach thing. I then give her this name, it's her dad. He said he's wearing a cap, and then he's wearing a trilby.
Wow.
And all this is, she said, how are you seeing this? I said, because he's standing there.
Yeah.
But sometimes they put that in my mind, and I feel with the Germans, airmen, they showed themselves because they obviously thought, well, he'll see us.
Yeah,
a bit creepy and a bit spooky when you think about it, but that's what happens. And you obviously saw one of them walking along the other track.
Yeah, there was on just in the trees.
I can't explain it, but I do feel, and this is where I'm saying, when I think it was said about getting into your mind.
Yeah.
Instead of abducting your body, they abduct from your mind.
It's probably easier, isn't it?
It seems a bit far-fetched. Look what happened when I went to Clapham Woods. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'll never go back there again.
No.
But that affected me for 5 years.
Yeah, I remember you saying with everything that happened in hospital and visitations, and it weren't family members.
A visit I had, at middle of the night, walking up the stairs and pinned to the bed and all that nonsense. Wow. But after we'd been to Clapham, it happened on New Year's Eve, and we went there. We'd been fishing at Little Hampton. I think it was the August. I saw what would have been a craft outside the window.
Oh.
What? About 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like a orange, oblong type thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, we don't get many of them in South London. I'll be brave to come down here. Get your wheels nicked. And
congestion charge.
It started floating around. And a couple of nights later, I was in bed and my old man was downstairs because he asked me next day what was all the noise. Next thing, and I'm pinned to the bed, and I know other people have had all this. But this went on 5 years, and I've got a letter in drawer next door.
Yeah,
I applied for an HGV license in 1981, I think. I got a letter back from the Metropolitan Police and said, due to your conditions of 1976 or whatever it was. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it's been recorded what happened to me because I was going to the doctors. So it's not my. So they turned me down. But then a year later, they gave me the license. But so I'm not making it up. This is what happened.
No.
I went to see the doctors, and because it was new then, all this abduction, wasn't it? Well, new to. here, I suppose.
Yeah,
It's a
so it
scary
weren't
thing.
widely spoken about, was it?
No. Well, I ended up down the nut doctors, didn't I? So who's going to believe you, Andy? Who's going to believe
That's it,
you?
isn't it? Especially
might
back
do.
then as well.
1970, 76, 77, yeah.
Yeah, first thing they'll do is lock you up and throw the key away. But it is. It sounds thingy, but it is. That's how it used to be, though.
Oh no!
But
dear, I'll keep my mouth shut now.
But remember when we got to the UFO model and we're taking photos and that, and we found that shelter that people had been building. Do you remember that family? There's a bloke and a woman. They had a pushchair and they had 2 young kids with them, didn't they? They all had blonde hair. Do you remember that? And they're walking up and we're expecting them to come round. And I said, oh, look at them. There's them people. It must be the kids, because you could see what looked like the top of the head bobbing up and down on top of the bushes.
Right.
And then we're waiting for the parents to walk past, and they didn't. And then these 2 white heads, well, what we thought, come into the clearing, and there's nothing attached to them. And we've realised there was white orbs.
Oh,
and there's dotting about, and then they started, when we realised what they was, then they changed their angles and started dancing about a bit before they shut off.
Yeah, and then we've got these big orbs like that on the leaves, which I've got.
Yeah, because they're geometric. Yeah. But remember, we stood under the tree as well, and we're chatting.
Yeah.
You was telling me about the photograph of your daughter, and there's that person there in uniform stood against it. It's all a bit blurry, other than your daughter in the tree's blurred, but the person that stood there, or this entity, isn't. You can clearly see not who it is, but what it is. So we're stood there, we're leaning on the branch, and we're chatting away. And then 2 orange orbs go past, probably about size of a tennis ball, maybe a bit smaller, but there's geometric, like hexagonal or octagonal.
That's it.
Yeah, and they went past, and you went about 10 seconds later, went, you see them? I went, yeah. I went, did you see the ones earlier? And you was like, yeah, but I didn't think you'd seen them, so I'd not said anything. And that was when I turned around to you, and I said, I thought it was a reflection of the sun off your watch, but we're leaning like that. It's all shaded. They was underneath. The sun would have had to have been below the horizon. Physically, you couldn't do it. The physics of it was just impossible. The sun would have had to have been below, and you'd have had to have been doing that with your arm to make that move the way that it did. And you'd have had to have done it twice with 2 arms and 2 watches.
That's a weird part. I mean, I still don't know what that was with my daughter. I mean, I don't know. I've even tried with AIs. Give me don't even go there. But Ronnie, I saw a video. Do you know Ronnie Dugdale?
Yeah, I got to meet him last time I come down.
Well, I saw a video of him and an American guy on YouTube a little while back. They got to where my daughter, granddaughter, whatever it is, there. Yeah. And then Ronnie said to this guy, I'm not going any further. I can't go any further. And he had a name for it, like some film. Can't think what it was.
Yeah.
But Ronnie didn't want to go any further than really where that tree is. Which, I don't know. I can't explain it. Because what you got to remember, Rendlesham, the alien thing, the UFO thing, was in 1980. But it's what went on before. The ancients and the aliens. That's what I got. Well, I had Professor Simon on here, interviewing him.
Oh, Simon Holland.
Well, next to Rendlesham is Butley Village. Well, in Butley Village is where the leader of the witches are, if you see what I mean, the British witchcraft.
Okay. Yeah.
And as soon as I went in Rendlesham, never been there before, and I said, there's witchcraft here. So there's all sorts of things going on in there. And if you're like a psychic, a medium, or you pick stuff up, you're going to pick it up.
Yeah.
But it's my camera that picked up all that other stuff. I don't get it. That was
I know.
10 years ago, and it still baffles me.
Yeah. I know. There's a lot of strange stuff goes on. Remember when we'd gone past the log and you told me about the woman that had gone past, and she would have had to either climb over that log because
the woman
where the trees fell, there's a dip underneath.
That's
if
right.
you got on your hands and like if you lay flat, and you could get under it that way, or you'd have to climb over the top. There's no way.
There were two tree trunks.
Around.
There were two tree trunks there. She either, I say, had to jump the fence in the farmer's field, but I'd have seen her.
Yeah.
And I'd have seen her running through, and she would have had to have zigzagged around the tree trunks that were lying across the track.
Yeah.
She'd gone, mate. She'd gone.
And the thing is, that field's open. There's nowhere to go. Once you get over that fence, all the trees are on this side, aren't they?
That's right.
Yeah. So you ain't going nowhere. But then, do you remember we got a bit further down and you got your K2 meter out, and it was like Blackpool. It was just the lights on it were dancing and was just getting loads of response. And then you said about the humming above us. And we're looking up because I said, oh, could it be like a bee's nest or a hornet's nest or something? It was like a soft, but you could tell it was above. And we couldn't say anything or hear anything else other than that. But then there's two things that I remember you saying after that. First one was, you get the feeling that you're being watched. And I was like, yes. But I don't think it's anything paranormal. I think it's like military surveillance of some sort. Whoever's controlling this area is watching what we're up to.
Oh, that's definite. That is definite.
Yeah.
I mean, before they started tampering with the trees, I know it's a forest and it has to be cut down. But the girl with the black-eyed girl, who I've got photographs of, the spirit girl, she's gone. The creatures, these little black creatures, Christabel Blakeney, that's what her name was. And I've looked at it. I think it was a Christabel Blakeney. But when I was on another part of that forest, we was in there, they had an archery club. I know it's still there.
Yeah.
And rubbish at it. But this creature, about 3 foot tall, 4 foot tall, came behind a container and looked at me. And I looked at it, and I was with someone else.
Yeah.
And it ran. God. Well, I was down there in 2016 with a friend of mine, a young medium, a Scottish medium. And we're going on track 12 where everything happens.
Yeah.
And she said, look, I've never seen ghosts like that before. There was half a dozen of these black creatures. Right, moving on to when I had my near-death experience in this bungalow.
Yeah.
When I had COVID, and I had about 10 minutes left apparently. And I don't care who believes me, I wasn't hallucinating.
Yeah.
Next to me was a guy who sat in the settee with me. I called him Peter, but he looked like a Mediterranean type guy.
Yeah.
On the Friday night, on the other side of the room were looked like these creatures. They were like blacked out faces, about 3 foot tall. And there was three of them. On my right hand side, and I weren't hallucinating, I didn't have a drink or anything, so there was a tube, what they call it a tunnel, but in the tube was a woman dancing around with a red dress on. Come on in. This is true. Come in. I thought, oh, I'm not well enough for that. And but on the Saturday night, these black things went.
Yeah.
On the Monday, my daughter drove 130 miles to get to me, my youngest daughter. They got me in the ambulance. Apparently, there's 10 minutes of oxygen left. One thing led to another. This Peter had gone. And then I still can't figure out what these little black creatures were.
Yeah.
And then the woman who was in the tube, I realised who she was. She was a medium that I knew, very flamboyant, who passed about a year before. And all this came together. But when I came and put me in intensive care, the nurse said to me, I'm tell you what she said first. She said, but last night, oh my God, she said, there's a little girl roaming around, there's aliens. What? I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Whether I've been talking about these things, but then the next day, following day, another nurse said sort of a similar thing. So there you go, Andy. They follow you around, mate.
So the nurses had seen them as well.
Well, unless she said I was talking about it, I was out of it. I didn't know. I mean, I was out of it. I was gone. But she said there was a little girl, which is true, which there is one, and aliens. I went, what?
But for them, but for them to say that and their profession, they wouldn't say something. I don't think they'd say something to you about what you've been talking about if they think you're not with it, delusional, or in that in-between state. So they must have seen them as well.
I got the impression.
That's what it sounds like.
And what happened? They're coming up to me in the room. They said, what is it you do? What do you do? I said, oh, I don't do anything. Yes, you do. So they started to watch my videos from the Sunday nights. Then we've got a few more fans, which is good. And I expected at some point the nut doctor was going to come and see me because, I mean, but honestly, it was a weird week. It was very strange. Oh, yeah, still mad now. Don't matter. But,
at least you know you're mad. It's all good.
But what I'm saying is, but these black things, they were the same, whatever they were, was in Rendlesham.
Yeah. Yeah, because remember you saying, so that bit where we walked down, you said they chopped the trees back and you used to see them across across the grass.
Yeah.
But since he cut the trees back, you've not seen them since.
I think they made less.
Oh, you've not seen them around there?
No, I've not seen them since. I've not seen them since. I've stopped cutting trees down. It's not good enough.
No. But you said as well, because we was walking around and what have you, and you saying that Alistair Crowley used to go there and do some of his cult stuff.
I'm sure I read it somewhere because I'm sort of a fan of his, you know.
Yeah.
But that sort of people talking to you, mention his name. He I don't know why people don't like him. He's very, very clever man. But as I say, the head of the British Witchcraft Foundation, whatever they're called, lives in a house in Butley, which is next door to the forest.
Yeah.
So having Mr. Crowley there makes sense. And it was a certain part, as you're walking out Elaine, used to come over really poor kitty. And she rings that was maybe to do with him. But I need to check that one out. Yeah. So there's a lot gone on there. And over the years, you know, Boudicca or Boudica or whatever you want to call her, she was there with her clan.
Yeah, Iceni, whatever it's called.
Yeah. So much has happened there. And
but then but you've got everything else going on around it. You got all the weird stuff at Shingle Street. I used to love going up there.
Yeah, there's another place, Shingle Street.
Because there's about 10, 12 houses just built literally on the beach.
That's right.
You've got to drive through a snake pass way thing to get to it, where all the sand dunes are and all that. And it's
Someone
just...
said well, the story I heard was in the war. They set light to the sea to stop the Germans.
Ah,
Other people said no, that didn't happen. Well, what do I know? I didn't live there.
no,
And then you got Dunwich. That's another strange place.
yeah,
Anywhere from like Lowestoft down to
all the way,
Woodbridge.
yeah.
You know, you got Dunwich. What else we got down here? Orford Ness. And like Professor Simon said, those UFOs could have come out from under the water there.
See, that's where I'm going with all this now. I think I was talking about it. I think it was last week. Just because we see them in the sky doesn't mean they're coming down. What's not to say they're coming up out of the water, then flying across the sky, then coming back. Yeah. Just because they go back out, we don't know where they're going. We don't know what their origin is.
And the one that crash landed in Rendlesham, I think, was coming from that direction. But there we are. I weren't there, so I can't say.
No.
But yeah, all that area. I say Dunwich is a strange place. I mean, the village goes out a mile. It's a mile out at the sea, under the water.
Yeah.
The actual town.
Oh yeah.
But it's apparently there's sort of spirit people wandering around down there on the beach and whatever. Yeah, it's fascinating.
But then you've got the other side to it as well, like the Woodbridge side. So where you got Eastgate Car Park and you go that way and you've got the old hangars and all that. The weird, it's like we've gone up there, like when the other times we've met up and we got there early before everyone else turned up and we've just gone on a little wander. And we've heard like two women talking, and it kind of sounded like it was coming from the base, but we was literally pinned right up to the chain link fence having a look through, and there was nobody about. It wasn't a radio. You could hear voices. You couldn't hear what the conversation was, but you could clearly tell it was two females. Like there was muffled like behind some trees or a few hundred feet away.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Nash, cracking bloke he was. He got killed on the way home. He used to sit there most of the night.
Yeah.
He had a few personal problems. He used to sit down and I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And he used to cook burgers and bacon and stuff and sit there all night. And that was when it was really active. And I see Ronnie Dugdale, he did this a YouTube thing, and this American guy put a K2 meter by the gate, on the gate.
Yeah.
Went mad. And there's no electrical stuff in that gate. There's nothing there anymore.
No.
And that's where that Mr. Blobby thing came from, when it came across from one side to the other.
But isn't that over near the house as well? So you've got that house on its own at the end of the runway, haven't you? As you're driving down.
Oh, the cottages there, yeah.
Yeah. See, don't you think that that's got something to do with everything that's going on?
Well, when the guy moved in there, because it was up for sale, and I said to someone, jokingly, it's kind of jokingly, couldn't lend us like 300 grand, could you say?
Buy it. That'd be
We'll
the
ever see it
perfect
again.
place.
We'll ever see it. Well, I don't know about that. But it's two cottages knocked into one. And I was speaking to the guy who's bought it. I thought, if you bought that, you could make not bed and breakfast. You'd make a fortune, wouldn't you? The old.
Oh yeah.
Space cadets coming down, and but no, you got the house there. I'm sure they see stuff in there.
You've got it. It's at the end of the runway. You can see straight down.
I know.
Both ways, straight into Rendlesham, straight onto the airbase.
And then, of course, you've got the other side of the road that people don't explore much, but that's another strange place as well. You can spend days down there.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on. But I'm trying to think of other stuff that's happened. But if you go deeper into the forest, I mean, I met a woman. Me and my mate was down there. He's not with us now. He's passed on. Anyway, we got lost.
Yeah.
Right in deep. All of a sudden, a woman turns up. Hello, she said. Where are you going? I said, well, I don't know. Trying to get back to the car park. And she said, blah, blah, blah. If you turn right, she said, you'll come to the house where you hear the voices. Oh, with that, she's disappeared as she's turned up. Where's she gone? I said, my mate, where's she gone? We didn't find the house, but I've heard of it. The disappearing house as well.
Oh, there's one at, is it Rougham? Near Woolpit. There's one near Woolpit.
One there as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Once you get deep into that forest,
yeah,
anything could happen. Get lost for a start. But you can walk around there for a week, Andy. We all thought about going camping, didn't we, or something one day, or go down there for a few days. That's what you need. You need to go down there and say, you know what?
I think just go deep into it, because it's not like you say, it's not just forest. As you go out towards the coast, it's all like ferns and sand dunes and all that, and a mix of everything. So you can go in and just keep walking till you get to the sea, and then come back again, but come back a different way.
But it's all what's gone on in there over how many thousands of years, I suppose. Say with Boudica or whatever her name is, her clan, all the UFO stuff. I must go down there myself, maybe next week. I'll try and go down there.
Yeah.
It's awesome, but it's not as awesome as it was. For some reason, it's gone very, very quiet.
Why do you think that's changed? Do you think it's because of the amount of people going? They've, I suppose, depleted the energy.
Could be. Say 2012 to 2015, you should stand at Eastgate and you could see all these hundreds of little lights. They weren't bugs, but everybody could be darting around. Say Chris was there then. He had some amazing stuff. In fact, you might not believe this, but I got a message from him on Facebook after he died. Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah. And
swore then.
And it was a private message as well. Something to do with Rendlesham. But there's so much more to it, mate. But I don't know whether it's because there's so many people there now, or because they cut all the trees down, tampered with stuff. I don't know.
Got a question from Shelley. So she put, Andy, question, I'm curious about odd rocks or any cave entrances. So there is, when I first went down, and I parked on the other side of it. So the when you go and you put in the sat nav, it doesn't take you to Eastgate, it takes you around the back of where the crater is. So you park at the top, and you've got that big, you know where the big sand dune is, and it looks like a red rock cave entrance. That's weird, just that on its own.
Yeah, that's all got entrances, isn't it?
Yeah, little like crevices that you can get through. So I was tempted, but nah, it was getting on. It was about 8 o'clock, so it was soon to get dark.
And maybe Orford as well. You don't know what's there. And
no.
But yeah, there is that. Yeah, the big sand mound, isn't there? Mound, and with the holes in it, probably animals in there or something. But
well, there are. Shelley said about odd rocks. So when we're walking down the path, just as we're going down, and it's becoming more less gravelly and more sand-like before you turn right to where the UFO is. There's a load of weird, like, they're not even pebbles or anything, just rocks that are like out of place. It's like someone's just picked them up and dumped them there. That's what it felt like.
It's
an odd place.
I mean, I don't know who the farmer is, but I mean, I'm sure they've seen stuff from that farmhouse, don't you? And if I haven't seen the guy that owns the cottages for ages, so. But maybe not everybody sees it. That's what I'm saying. You know, I think if you're somehow tuned into this stuff, or they're tuned into you, that's
possibly
how you see it. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a couple more questions. First one from Darren, Baby with a Laser. Isn't there a burial mound there? Isn't that the one? Yeah, Alistair Crowley or Bodicea or whatever, around that part?
I've got. I think I'm trying to see it in my mind. I think it's the other side. So if you come out of the car park and you went turn right, went straight down to, because there's houses down there.
Yeah.
There are some mounds there. I think Simon said.
I think
there's some
mounds. That's
there.
where we went on that night walk with Simon.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was, because we went down past the lodges when Miles and Simon's son and all that turned up.
Yeah,
and I did my Bigfoot growl.
I mean, as far as I understand, they're digging up King Redwold's palace now, so you've got all that going on as well. That may have I don't know if that's what shifted everything. I mean, they dug his boat up, didn't they? Some who?
Oh yeah.
And apparently they started to dig his the palace. So maybe that's why things have gone off the boil. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know whereabouts it is.
No, I know there is one. I remember you pointed into the direction where it was, but like you said, it's that big. It was years ago. Oh, next one again from Shelley. Did you feel any kind of energy, electricity, static feeling from the feet up? Now, the only thing that we got from that was when we got the K2 meters on the trees, and we're in the middle of the forest at this point. There's no cables, there's no gas, water, electric cables, nothing. And we're putting it on, and we're getting readings on the trimeter.
That's right.
And it's like unless the tree itself is giving off its own type of energy, but it wasn't on every tree, it was just specific certain trees, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that is
tried it on a few different ones.
I mean, where that was is where I got the photographs of the monks.
Yeah.
So there's obviously something in there.
Yeah.
But every time I go there, Andy, I'll go past it and I'll take a snapshot. But no, they don't appear.
Nothing. And the other weird thing. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, if someone could explain how I can go down with a camera and get these monks. One looks like he's hanging, and there's a little a grey looking from behind the tree.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this hairy thing looks like a giant fish, but it's huge, isn't it?
It's just massive, isn't it?
But
yeah,
you don't see them. Now the camera's not even seeing them.
But another word for it is, soon as you're in the car park, as soon as you cross the road, first step into there, your phone signal goes.
Yes, it does.
So do you think that's the military putting a block on stuff? Or because it's not even that dense of a forest, is it really?
Well, I don't know if the
quite
military...
open for a forest.
But no, it can't be the military, because you wouldn't get a signal anyway, would you, if they were going to block it?
That's all. Yeah. Well, that's the only thing I can think of. But you can get a phone signal on Eastgate car park side. It's literally as soon as you cross the road and get to that first sign that says UFO trail, gone. Nothing.
And you won't
Doesn't
get
matter
anything.
what. Doesn't matter what network you're on or anything. Just nothing there.
Maybe that's why when I got that message, don't come down on your own. I mean, it's a dangerous place. I mean, when those deer, that rutting season, those deer are looking for what they're looking for, and they get a bit humpy.
You might be on the list.
And they are big, they're big things, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the adders, the snakes. You see them, but they vanish. They slither off, don't they?
See, I've never seen any of them.
Oh,
but then I weren't looking out for them.
Always. But those stags, Jesus Christ, they're big.
Yeah.
But I've walked along there, and a deer has just come out of nowhere and look. They stand looking at you. What are you doing here, mate?
Yeah.
And I ain't got no horns. I don't want him with the big horns. Jesus Christ, it's a bit mad, really, going down here sometimes. But no, the signal goes. I agree. I think it goes all the way through the forest. But what I don't get is there are houses in that forest.
Yeah.
So they must be picking up Wi-Fi somewhere.
Well, you've got the campsite in there. You've got the lodges that you can rent out. You've got, and then like you said, you've got houses just dotted about here and there.
Yeah.
There must be telegraph poles or something. Well, there is. We've seen them, but still, if you've got a mobile phone, you're still going to need that. And
where are the lodges in there? I don't know where the lodges are.
So from what I can remember is where the campsite is. It's on the field over the back from the campsite or over the front. There's like 3 or 4 lodges in like one area. You can rent them out, or you can they hire them out. You can stay in them. So
it might be an idea, rent one out. But I don't know. It's definitely gone off the boil. It's not as it was.
No.
Sort of 10 years ago. I've seen 2 UFOs there. And then when you get down the other side, the other end of the forest, I mean, that was active, but I haven't been there.
Yeah.
No, really. What's that? Andy, odd question. Anything with brush burning? What's that?
Anything with brush burning? No.
What's a brush burning? Is that a country thing?
No, I suppose it's like brambles and all that. That's a brush. Yeah. I'm guessing.
I don't think so. But I might have a visit down there next week. Now the kids are back at school.
Yeah.
That's how I went back down. I was down there all the time.
I know. So what are we now? You got May bank holiday, first Monday in May.
Oh well, I won't be going that day.
I might come try and get down then, because then I'm away the end of June. Then I've got a couple of weeks off in July, but I'm up in Scotland.
Oh, where are you going?
Nothing. Don't know yet. Just going to do some kayaking around the locks and what have you.
Yeah, I was going to go back. I want to go back to Loch Ness. I don't want to go back to Loch Ness for a few days this year because Alistair Crowley's house is there.
Yes.
And I belong to the foundation. I've been around the back of it, and not a lot of people know this, but I don't know if you notice, I was adopted, right? But my biological father was Scottish, and he would have been Clan Grant. And I found out that Clan Grant were the last clan to own Urquhart Castle, which is on Loch Ness.
I didn't break into it. So we'd gone up over Christmas. It's a funny story, actually. We'd gone up we were staying in Fort William. We rented the house for the week. And it was a day after Boxing Day. I thought, right, while we're here, we're literally down the road from it. We'll go up to Loch Ness for the day. So we drove up, probably about an hour and a half. Got to the Loch Ness Visitor Centre, pulled in there, had a bit of a walkabout, and then driving back because it was obviously getting dark early. And we got to Urquhart Castle, and I thought, well, while we're out, we'll have a look about. So we pulled into the car park, and there's a gate. There's loads of people stood there. Goes, oh, you can't go in. It's closed. I'm like, what do you mean it's closed? I went, watch this. And I just 5-bar gate. I just climbed up the gate, like 2 steps up one side, dropped down the other side, and went, da-da. That's it. So all you got to do is there's no one stuck. It's just physically stopping any vehicles from getting down. You could climb over and walk down because it's free to go down anyway. And all it was a gate to shut off the other bit of the car park and where the visitor centre was. But then there's a path that leads down to the castle, which is right on the edge of the lock anyway. So we're up in the turrets and we're looking at the replica catapults and all that. Turn around, there's about 30 people behind me following me down.
Oh, it's an awesome place, you know.
Yeah, I loved it there.
I did. Well, when I got off the train, you see, I didn't know about this. And I said to Linda, my ex-missus, I said, oh, God, I belong here. I knew my biologicals, as I call them, they come from somewhere around there. But I didn't realise it was that close in Inverness. But it's awesome, mate. And the people are friendly. The beer's nice. Bit raucous on a Saturday night, but it's all right.
Oh, yeah.
But I think you could sit at that lock for 20 years and not see anything, you know. But I'll have to let me know how you get on.
Sorry, Shelley just put AI says brush burning, Alistair Crowley connection, Wallerstein house burning.
Yep.
So so the house is burnt down twice, hasn't it? Because burnt down when he had it.
Burnt down when he had it. When he left it.
It set on fire.
It just set on fire.
He was over in New York partying, wasn't he?
Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin bought it.
Yeah.
He could knack it, apparently, because they say, I've heard the stories that Lord Lovett's head rolls along the hallway.
Ooh.
I couldn't have that. I'd be out of there.
No.
But Jimmy Page let his mate be the caretaker, and I think it caught fire again.
Yeah.
But what Alistair Crowley did, you see? He did his magic tricks. I thought he's a bit like me. He thought, oh, stuff it, I'm off. And he
can't be arsed anymore. Left them half open.
And he left all the things in there. And he went off mountain climbing or doing something.
I think he was having parties and all that with the aristocrats over in America, in New York.
Yeah.
So he's flitting between the US and the UK.
Yeah.
So
and over the other side, at the back of the house, is a cemetery graveyard. Apparently, that's well spooky.
Oh, didn't know that.
That backs on. Yeah, that backs on to the Loch Ness.
Oh yeah, I'll let you know when I go up next.
It's a bit creepy, but I don't know if I want to go in there or not. I mean, I'm frightened of going in that house with nothing and coming out with something. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, I'm a bit susceptible.
Hitchhiker. I don't know. I'd never think about it. I'd just go and say, right, I'm going now. I'm done. But I don't really do that anymore. When I go out, I've not been investigating for so long, but when I do, I'm more looking up and looking behind the trees and what have you for the UFOs and cryptids, because you don't know what's there and what's going on. So I think if you're looking for one thing, you might miss the other stuff as well.
Well, I've got one of those photos I've got as we're walking down that track to where the ditch is. I mean, there's a creature coming out the trees there, and I can't. That looks like, I don't know what it looks like. It's like a gigantic ape.
But
it's not. But
I know.
You don't.
I remember you showing them me.
You don't see it with your eyes, do you? You don't see it. It's the camera.
Can you imagine when you're in there, what is looking at you, or what's watching, or following you, or stood right in front of you? Makes you never want to go again, huh?
Well, you have to pass that bit where this creature was.
It's the only way in, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't think I'll go there for a while.
No.
People say I was mad.
You're not going next weekend.
I don't know. You?
No, birthday parties next weekend.
I will go down there at some point because I do miss it, but it's bloody fly. I've been Crowley roaming around.
Come back to, aren't you?
But,
sorry, got one more question. I nearly missed it. It's from Stephen Collin, and he's asking, are there any animal mutilations ever been reported there? I've never heard of anything, but you don't get many animals going into the forest, really, do you?
Only other than deer.
There, you get pigeons now and again, and I think the whole time that I've been there, I've seen 2 squirrels in the 4 or 5 times that I've been.
No,
so,
I'm sure I've only ever seen deer and adders in there.
Yeah. And butterflies.
Well, I haven't seen any of them since that day. She was a bit spooky. Well, she was a
I know. Because we just got there and we were chatting. We was like trying to get the ticket for the parking, and she's saying about the butterfly trail.
Yeah.
And she was saying about a dog because the dog was about 300 years old. It took forever. It was a little Chihuahua thing.
Poor little thing.
And I know. And she was saying that she does it all the time. And you was saying to her about the weird stuff that goes on there. And she's like, oh, I've not seen any of that. It didn't put her off, did it? She weren't like, oh, I'm never going there again. She's like, oh, never heard of that.
I've never seen her there again. Never seen her.
And she said she goes all the time to twice a day or something.
Yeah. But I haven't found the butterfly trail, and I've been all past those houses. And you've been past those houses, haven't you?
Yeah.
With Elaine.
Number of times. Yeah.
Nothing there, mate.
No. You've got the UFO trail.
Yeah.
And then you've got the one that goes round the back of the runway. And they're the only 2 that I know of.
Apparently,
and everything else just...
Derek, before Derek passed away, he went round the back of the other side of the runway. Now, Elaine and me have been there.
Yeah.
But not too far in. Now, Derek, I think he got told to leave.
Yes. I remember saying
Miles, that young Miles.
Yeah.
I'm sure he said he went further down one day and got turned back. There's something down there.
Oh, now I want to go.
There's something down the end there because Derek got told to leave. He said, what are you doing? He said, I'm by the heating tree.
Yeah.
And then must have been last year, before we all went down that day, you have to ask him. Miles, he said he'd gone right the way down.
Oh, didn't 2 people come out of nowhere? Was that right? If I remember.
Well, he said that.
Yeah, I'm sure he said 2 people just popped up and told him to leave.
Yeah, he was told to leave.
Yeah.
And yet there's a video on YouTube I saw a few weeks back where people were clambering around somewhere down there because they got going in old buildings down there. So I don't know what's going on. Something going on. They've both been chased out of there.
We need to go down.
Yeah, might be the Men in Black.
Yeah, you've had dealings with them, haven't you? You and Derek and a few people.
Well, I was down there one day with Steph. I was seeing she passed on now. And there was 2 guys walking down. So we're coming down from Eastgate, and you got those tracks, haven't you? Looked up, and there's 2 guys in Crombies.
Yeah.
Who wears a Crombie in the forest? I thought, better get going. Anyway, I was down there again on my own, Saw another two blokes. Then one vanished, which is really strange. And then I went down there another day, and I don't know who these people were. Give me the evils. And we left the forest, went to the car park. Anyway, we heard this noise like a tapping, banging under the car. Nothing there. I was going towards Woodbridge, and this van, one of these vans, is like one of these horror films, you know, the van cuts you up
out of nowhere.
Yeah. I thought there's something going on here today. Oh, but be careful.
No. I know. Well, we definitely need to go, but unfortunately, we're at the end of the show, people.
Are we?
Yes, 1 hour, 10 minutes.
Oh, I hope we didn't bore them.
No, I don't think there's still people in the chat. There's at least 2 people still watching, so it's all good. But thank you so much for coming on. And we definitely need to meet up and go down there and get an update of what's going on.
It's a pity we can't do a live down there. That's the thing.
I know.
If you could do a live,
it'd be great. I don't even think a satellite phone would work down there.
No. Now I feel weird answering questions on here because I can't see anyone. You think, at least, are they bored?
No, they'd tell us if they were bored, and then I'd just boot them. No, I'm only messing.
No, seriously. I know I do my Sunday night thing, but it's not me doing the chatting. It's someone else.
Yeah.
And
no, it's all good because it's like it's good to talk to people that have been there and spent a long time there and have had these different encounters and everything going on. So
we got 4 or 5 pages of events in that place. You couldn't make it up, that's for sure.
No, I know. It's like I've been like 4 or 5 times and I've never gone. Trying to word it right. Each time we've gone, we've had something. It's always been something different. There's always something going on there, even though it's not like you said. It's not as 24/7, but there's still stuff happening. So it's never a dull moment, should we say?
That's what it's all about, mate. Isn't it? Well, good luck at Inverness or wherever you're going. When you're going up there in
July.
Yeah.
End of July, middle to end.
I was going to drive up it, but it's 560 miles from here. I don't fancy
it. I think I'm going to get the train.
I went up. Honestly, I went from King's Cross.
Yeah.
On that, was it something Chieftain? 8 hours and you're there.
Yeah, I could do that. I could sit on a train for 8 hours, easy.
Yeah, it's all right. But that driving, it's all right.
Well, I used to drive from Manchester, and even then it was like, so Inverness is 7, 8 hours. So,
is it really?
So, yeah, it's about 10 hours from here, yeah.
My daughter and her husband did it a couple of years ago. Right off. I couldn't do that.
I don't need 10 hours at work.
I can't do an hour of work.
No.
When that doctor said you can't work anymore all them years ago, I said, oh God, lovely.
Oh, yeah, what a shame.
I've got time to play around now.
I know, that's it. Well, I just want to say a massive thank you for coming on at short notice. Really do appreciate it.
Me, and thanks for all these people and watching. And
yeah,
don't forget, if you're bored Sunday night, come and see The Lady and the Maverick.
Yes. You do it on YouTube and Facebook, don't you?
Yeah. Get more views on Facebook.
Is it 7 o'clock UK time?
Yeah.
So that'll be 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Central, and 11 a.m. Pacific time. Just so we get a lot of people in the US watching. So.
Oh dear. Yeah, we get a few. Well, Kathy is American, isn't she? So yeah, come and join us.
Yes, so join Alex on Sunday. I shall be back on Wednesday with Nicole when we're going to be doing Reality Check, and we're going to be talking about all things trending on social media and the internet over the next 2 days. So we're going to try and keep it paranormal-esque, like UFOs and cryptids and all that. And then we're back on Friday when we're going to be talking to Kevin Day from Nimitz, the Tic Tacs on the Nimitz, US Nimitz back in the day. So
really,
yes.
So I'll try and tune in for that.
Yeah, it'll be the third time he's been on. It's just so interesting about what he talks about and how they discovered it and what went on during that time as well. So looking forward to that one again. So that's it. So I'm going to leave you with a video for the merch store. So please help support the channel and wear the amazing clothing brand, or glass or bottles or whatever you want. And yeah, so I am going to play this, then play the outro, and we'll see you guys Wednesday at the same time. So thanks again, Alex. Much appreciated. Thank you, everyone in the chat, the moderators, everybody else, new subscribers, tier members, and we'll see you on Wednesday. So other than that, take care. And
okay, see you later, Andy.
Bye-bye. See you later, Alex. Cheers.
Landed. Level up your vibe tonight. Hit the YouTube channel now. Step into the unknown in style. Trip from another world. Yeah, the signal's coming through.
Signal acquisition initiated. Cross-referencing anomaly archives. Pattern recognition complete. Aether 8 online. Proceed.
Welcome back. You found it again. The UFO Files. Broadcasting round the clock on Alien 8 UK. Red-eye listeners, insomniacs, sky watchers, van drivers on the long haul. You're tuned to the only station that stares back at the dark with you. 24 hours, we circle the same old questions. Lights over the north, shadows over the south. Phone lines open, headphones on, blinds half drawn. I got case notes spread like takeaway menus. Highlighters bleeding through until sunrise. Coordinates scribbled on coffee stain napkins from a truck stop somewhere near the east coast. We don't do jump scares here, we do the long stare out the window at 3:33 AM when the estate's asleep and the sky feels too crowded. You call him with that voice, half whisper, half there. First time chatter, long time watcher, and the hairs rise on every neck in frequency range. Maybe it's satellites, maybe it's stories we tell, so we're not alone in these flickering terraces and rented rooms. Either way, keep your dial right here. This is the UFO Files. Alien 8 UK. All night, every night. Welcome back.
Alien 8 UK.